use it in our company to scale it, not, let's say, human-wise, but project-wise. And I will share, of course, the real-world cases and how we approach it in our company. First thing, important to mention, I'm not an AI expert or something like that. I don't position myself as this. I'm just a mere founder of the business who wants to get more margins in the business, to earn more money with less people. Yeah, who knows this, like pain. So that's exactly why we decided, of course, to approach AI in a more strategic way. And today I'll share the, let's say, case studies that we implemented inside of our company and how we actually structure our company around AI. Also, just to mention, our business, I would say, will not be possible without AI. So applause to AI, it's good that we have it. So you got me here, please add me on LinkedIn. It will be also nice if you take a picture of me throughout the walk, and then you can tag me in the post. I can also help you to boost your LinkedIn organically. So our team, okay, so we are only 6 people team who are able to manage more than 100 accounts on LinkedIn with 0 compromises on the quality. So how we do that? So we decided to go into AI and see how we can do a specifically new approach to the company. When I talked, for example, to the agency founders, I saw that a lot of them, they get burnt out really easily by talking to people, managing the clients, and etc. I really didn't want to scale my company this way by hiring more people, managing more people, and etc. So we thought how we can, do it differently. And instead of just working with ChatGPT, Claude, and etc. with the content creation, we went to other way to actually build our processes around AI. So this helps us to increase our margins as an agency by managing, for example, more accounts with less people. Of course, it also helps us to save the growth, get the results that we can track and scale for the clients. And of course, I also have a slightly better work-life balance as a founder of the business. So why I also wanted to stress out why, let's say, AI fluent hiring matters, because it is a big difference when you have, for example, a team members and you want to force them in using AI. And I will talk about this problem that a lot of companies face, where they're like, okay, this is a subscription, let's say, to ChatGPT, Claude, and etc. But the only way they're using it is like to generate a text, or like an emails is actually one of the most common ways to use the AI. But we will talk about different ways, of course, to use it. And also control risk. With hiring more people and scaling as a company, it's of course a risk that you are dependent on people. But with the AI, it's a little bit different story. Just to question you, this is one of my favorite AI memes that I wanted to share with you. First of all, is there any skeptical of AI in the audience? You can raise your hand if you think the AI is bullshit. Who thinks AI is bullshit? Okay. Well, don't be shy. I thought it once as well. But actually, a lot of people say that, okay, you saw probably the meme when, Meta, Google, and etc. and all the presentations say AI, 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 AI. Everybody's talking about AI. But I think it's still under hype in terms of its usage beyond the ChatGPT resources. Even ChatGPT, actually, you can see that through the stats of the 2025, the monthly users grew almost twice, you can see, within only 10 months. This is impressive. Though last year it's also reached a plateau of users. It means that it's not growing anymore because people, some get disappointed because they don't know how to use ChatGPT properly, for example, right? Or they don't know best use cases that they can implement to their workflows or businesses. So it's now in a plateau. Also, just to share, what is possible with AI beyond business. I was quite surprised. I was doing this research, and I don't know if you knew, but it's very applicable in the medicine side as well. And for example, you can see from the slides that it's, let's say, raised awareness of the breast cancers. It's also helped to increase the, let's say, researches on the cloning experiments, even like AI, ChatGPT, GPT, platform. And of course, it helps with early detections of the diagnosis in the medical case studies and more, which is pretty impressive. But there are two gaps and two main problems that through research I made that we can see in the companies. First one is not, it doesn't mean access means adaptation. I know so many companies that they tell their employees like you need to use AI first and then you come to me to deal with it, and then still employees ask stupid questions that they can solve with even like AI, and it takes a lot of time. So I think this is one of the biggest usage gap that we can see. And also transformation gap. So instead of, for example, thinking, okay, how can I add AI to the process that I'm doing in the company, you should think how I can build this process in AI, let's say, thought process. So that's also a big change to be, let's say, to have more competitive advantage as a business. There's a 10-point AI nativity system, so we can do a little bit of test to see how AI native you are. So first one is zero content. I bet everyone had at least some of the content with the AI, so we will pass that. Passive interest, tactical use, a regular tool. So who, for example, uses AI on a daily basis? Raise the hand. So like 90%, still not everyone. So at least it's a regular tool to use. Then we have a framework thinking. Who of you thinks of AI as, let's say, a separate person? Raise a hand. Who has like AI agents, for example? Okay, awesome. So there are some already people that at least on the 5th or 6th level. Amazing, next one. So this one is a higher level. Let's see who are in the top. To be honest, I would say right now we are on a 8th level and going to like 9th, like in our company. And there's a big difference. It's getting harder and harder because especially, let's say, relying on AI agents for them to communicate between each other, solve the task, and etc. It does create a lot of scarcity, to be honest, especially of data privacy, the mistakes it can make, and etc. So you should be always aware of what kind of task you're giving them and what kind of, let's say, access they're having in terms of like doing with your business, because some mistakes might be also pretty pricey. So any of you are on a 10th level? Oh, we have a guy here. Amazing. So you should be here, talking. But yeah, like AI is pretty awesome, and I think there's a never-changing journey because AI evolves, we evolve, and like hopefully we evolve with AI and don't get stuck in it, like let's say past. Some of the use cases I just wanted to share, like depending on the jobs to do, let's say. Like the most common are like doing the emails, like doing the summary of the calls, documentations and stuff, analyticals. Some even trust their like strategies, like how to get to the market, maybe even PR strategy, like the content strategy, positioning, and etc. Some other is of course in research as well. Like AI could do actually pretty good research, and also I would say Claude is way better. Actually, I'm just curious, how many of you uses most of the time is ChatGPT? Raise hands. Number one tool, ChatGPT. And how about Claude? Who uses Claude? Oh, even more. Like my favorite more is like Claude for sure, but I will tell you about other tools as well. Of course, also like you can use it in a team operations. One of the use cases that I see a lot in businesses is like customer service support, like answer the questions, inquiries and etc. That really helps for the companies. Also, this is just some of the tools, for example, we are using on a regular basis. That probably most of you have seen. I also use some cases that we use with Cursor, especially. I love Cursor now. Let's say it's way more fun. Oh, there's a timer there. There is a timer, right? Or it's not accurate. I just saw it, sorry. Got me excited. Is it actual timer?
That's the time, yeah.
Okay, perfect, thank you. So this is like the tools that we are using the most. I'll tell like some of the things that we like made a progress in, and that's the favorite ones. But they're pretty simple. Just also like you might have you heard of the like OpenClaw, Molbolt, and that kind of stuff? Any of you? Okay, oh, there's some audience in it. Yeah, right now, if you haven't heard of us, it's quite on hype at this moment. Everybody's talking about it. Everybody's saying that if you're not using it, you're missing out. You're way behind in your business and etc. Which partly is true, but I just wanted to highlight some things that people usually don't mention. First of all, if you get to in an IP like costs are way much more expensive than subscriptions. Some people don't really expect and count that as a business expense. Then also database breaches are quite, let's say, a problem if we talk about using these bots. And yeah, some other things that can happen, hallucinations, like problems, or maybe you give too much access to it and it can delete all your, let's say, data or like users' data or like your calendar or whatever. So you need to be aware of this, let's say, challenges. And let me just dive more into the ways we use AI, right? And how you can also implement that in a few, let's say, easy steps. I'll also share a lot of inside information of our company, but hopefully you'll not screenshot it too much. uh, so, fractional automation example. If you have not automated anything anytime yet before, this is the way that you can go on with it. And first, start small and think especially long term in the systems. So first of all, for example, you can identify the tasks that are on a repetitive, like workflow that you're using in your company, and the ones that you can automate pretty fast. I will show you how we do. We actually just screenshot, for example, a process that we have and that we want to automate, and then we build a system that will help with this automation. Of course, you can also choose different AI tools that will work the best for your specific task. It can be, for example, AI video creation. It can be like text generation. It could be task manager inside of your company. It could be actually anything, anything you wish for. So yeah, and iterate, of course, because the more you test and the more you realize what is working, what is not working, the faster you will get to the best possible results. So, for example, like there are some Russian signs. I know there's some Russian speaking here, but I just decided not to, translate it. So, for example, we had like few managers that we wanted to automate. So we see, okay, there is Alana who does this. So we take a screenshot, okay. Then we have like another manager, Sophie. We take a screenshot what she does, how she does, and etc. So we're automating managers. And then we iterate that, and we design a system. Okay, what comes after what is important, what is not important. We create a system based on what we want to automate. Then, well, this is, looks scary, but it's actually can be easier. It's Niton and the system of automation. This is one of the flows that we have for our pipeline with, let's say, managing the clients. It looks a lot and scary, but it's not too much. And also this one, for example, you can see we did like automation inside of Telegram bots. So we created the bots and we linked it to our system. So for example, we have also Slack bots for international clients. For Russian speaking, we have a Telegram. And for example, in their chats, they receive, let's say, posts as well, topics, also news search, for example. It's a search and parses, it's like a, let's say, trend watching tool that we have in our company for each of our clients. So it goes to them. Then they, for example, they can rate the news, and then we take them into account to create content. And this is, you can see also results that we got from using this pipeline. For example, this is one of the founders that we're leading. He has around 7,000 followers base, and this is like some of the cases that we have in terms of impressions on LinkedIn. If somebody of you does the LinkedIn, they know that it's a pretty good statistics for that much following. So that's, for example, pipeline that we automated, integrated in our company, really helped us to, let's say, do a better performance for our clients as well. And like this, for example, pipeline grew his followers like organically, more than 1,000 new followers. And from the feedback of this founder, he said that 99% of these followers are his potential customers and clients from the industry, which is, I think, the most important part, that we are able to attract not just random people, but the people who will be, leads, potential leads for the clients. This is a much simpler, let's say, task that you can do and automate even without, let's say, Niton. A cursor, first of all, like a quick tool. I don't know if this one, like a tip here, like cursor. Have you ever tried cursor? You did? A very few. I love Cursor. Like, give it a try. It's way better than even Claude and ChatGPT combined. First of all, because you can have actually different access to the models inside of one Cursor, which just really helps because different models are made for different tasks, and it can actually also, let's say, pick the best one for your specific task, and you can also see which one, creates a better experience for your tasks. And here, like, Cursor looks ugly, to be honest. It looks like a coding platform if you've been there and like you got scared, but you can easily change that by going to, let's say, settings and going away with like this editors panel and sidebar and leaving the chat. So it's just like a chat, so it's all just a usual, let's say, Claude or ChatGPT experience when you can just ask, okay, I want to build task manager, and like this is just like you talk them to them as just a normal ChatGPT user or whatever, and then it can create. And this is like the body I did myself within like maybe 2 hours. That it got automation, like a pipeline from the Phantom that we're using, like to record our calls and etc. And it generates like let's say the task. So we have here, for example, Lisa, rich woman visibility as a service. Okay. We have this, for example, call, and we decided to go into that. So it's all the task. I can see my own task. I can also see the workload of my team, how many hours they have in, and etc. And this one is very easy to build. You don't need Python or like coding experiences. What I want to just to, let's say, stress out and talk about is the hidden potential of it. As I mentioned in the beginning of my talk, that it's really important not to think only about how I can add AI to my business, but how can I build a process around AI. That will really, let's say, change your way of thinking and approaching AI in general. And yes. So I have two news for you. Like bad news, if you don't have time, you are not giving up. Like if you are not investigating like AI capabilities, you're not searching for new tools, you're not experimenting in search, you're behind. But the good news is that actually everybody is experiencing the FOMO. They are not keeping up. So you're not alone in that. But I think it's really important to think about it more and use your time for it. Perfect. So I do recommend at least to dedicate, let's say, 2 hours a week formula, let's say, to get started. That's how we also integrate our team. In the beginning, of course, when we were hiring the people, we were also looking into at least like the basic AI nativity level, where people are already using it on a daily basis, even for like, let's say, psychological sessions through ChatGPT, or asking like what they should eat or where should it go, and etc. At least having a habit, and then you can build from there. And now we're also like dedicating time in our companies to each of our managers to dedicate at least 2 hours weekly to research, to see what works the best, experiment with AI, and etc. So yeah, do it. This is like some also role-based AI. Also, one of the recommendations I can give is to think in terms of roles. What are your daily tasks? What kind of jobs you are doing as a personal, life, as a business as well, and also think through this as a process, for the content creator, for example, okay, script generation, AI video generation, etc. And then, of course, based on your roles, you can do way much more things. You can even, if you don't know where to start, you can even go to Cursor, Claude, ChatGPT, and ask, like, where should I start? I want to be more, let's say, AI native, and he can help you to, work out the plan to become better in that. This is like one of the recommendations I have for you. I like to follow some of the people who write about AI. This is not me, as I'm not a professional. There is Elena. She has also Substack on She Faster with AI. And also Ruben Hassid, he's a pretty famous guy on AI. Just Elena, she writes in a more simple way of understanding, which I like. And Ruben also tells a lot of inside information how he uses AI and etc. and some recommendations. So I think to get ahead in era of AI, I think it's important also to think and learn from the people who are at least a few steps ahead of you. Also, just a closing note is I want you to think long term and think not only in this and now, how I can speed up the processes, but how it will help me in the future and the market as well. So this is, for example, what you can do right now. It's build systems, not solutions. I guess it's not only, again, it's not only one-time thing, it's a long-term process. And also design for adaptability. What I like about AI and, for example, what we've been doing differently is that we don't have liability in terms of a lot of things that we created before, and it's flexible. So that helps us to grow as a team, as a company as well. And I just want to leave you with the questions to answer. Are you building something that will be still relevant in 5 years? I think that's important. Okay, that's it. Yeah, we can go to the questions.
We can do 5 minutes of questions.
Anyone just raise your hand if you have a question to Renata? Don't be shy now.
Oh, there is a person.
There you go.
Just photo.
Well, sorry, it's my minute of fame, okay? Yeah, for LinkedIn, yay! Thank you. Sorry, yeah,
Yes.
go for it.
Let me see if I can put it the correct way. I'm curious to know what was the timeline with your clients from the moment that they decided to work with you and you looking at the whole thing, creating the prototypes, and then seeing results. And yeah, how open were they throughout the process of receiving those?
So you mean in terms of me as a company, like working with our clients for LinkedIn?
Exactly.
Okay, just to make it clear, we don't do any AI automations like as a service, right? So we just do it out AI automation for our clients inside. Usually it takes less than a week. So depending on the, let's say, how fast people can share their information about themselves and etc. So within 1 week we can, launch a new person. Even less usually. But we, let's say, commit to 1 week and do it faster and, of course, impress people.
Any other question? Anyone over there?
Do you have a process to onboarding clients?
Again?
Do you have a process for new clients, automated?
Yes, of course. Like we do have besides the system that we build also onboardings, let's say, as a system. So we, for example, have a pipelines for each new client, each new also team member, and etc. So that helps us scale. If I understood the question.
What tool do you use?
So it's one of the tools that I shared earlier. Actually, not all, but almost every. It's Nighton and 8N is for automations, for example. And we also use Cursor for building it as a system and then hosting on cloud services and etc. So, yeah. Okay?
One more question? One more? No, never.
No, never.
Do you have more chain maybe?
More chairs.
Oh, that was a serious question.